Whenever you're ready.
Can I start now?
Hmm?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Adriana, and I am so grateful to you for coming and attending my little talk here. Today, I'm going to teach you the importance of breathing and a very little technique that you're going to use, hopefully, every day to improve your breathing. This technique was taught to me by Dr. Koch in one of the phases of ZHMT, which is T phase. And I'm going to teach you this technique. It's called the high-low test. But before I proceed to teach you this technique, I'm going to ask you a question. So I'm going to ask you, how long do you think you can survive without eating? 30 days? Well, 20, 15, a week? I don't know, depending how much you like to eat, right? Well, now I'm going to ask you a second question. You can probably survive a really long time without eating, as long as you are hydrated, right? However, for how long can you survive without breathing, holding your breath? Well, if you're a champion and you've been practicing, maybe you can do 5 minutes. But if you don't breathe correctly, maybe 30 seconds is enough and then you're done, right? Well, what if I tell you that today I'm going to teach you that breathing is not only important to survive, but also it affects your posture, it affects your musculoskeletal system, right? How many times have you seen people in the street or have clients come to you with bad posture, or they are complaining about neck problems, oh my neck hurts, my upper body hurts, and they don't know why, and then you go with them and you teach them how to do rowing and to, you have to really work like a soldier all day long to correct your posture and nothing happens, right? Well, guess what? We know now that there's more than 20 muscles that are involved in the breathing. Not only one, and we know that the main one is the diaphragm right here, but there's many other muscles right here on the upper body that actually assist the breathing techniques, the breathing. So, when you have this poor breathing and you don't really breathe deeply in your diaphragm, you can develop many problems in your posture. You know, the first thing that you see people on the street is like they have a forward head, and they have shoulders protruding to the forward side. They have thoracic hyphosis, and they always type like this, right? So, we have a very interesting technique in ZHMT to help people how to breathe better and deeper, okay? So, this technique is called high-low test. So, if I have a volunteer here, so I can test you. Thank you, Mark. Okay, let's see. So in order for you to find out if your clients have problems or they are breathing really shallow, you need to do a test first. So you need to help them doing one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach, right? So I'm going to have Mark just breathing 3 to 4 times, just breathing normally like you always do. And actually I'm going to have you, instead of facing the camera, I'm going to have you like that, and then just breathe. And actually his breathing is pretty good. So what you need to see with this test is that the client, when they are breathing all the way to the diaphragm, the hand that is down raises first, and then the hand that is up raises after. It's like a wave that is happening. So in this case, Mark breathes really well. Now, let's have another volunteer here. Very good, Mark.
It's almost as if somebody was training you to breathe that way.
Okay. Now we have Patrick, another volunteer. Let's see, we're going to check his breathing. And the reason why this is important is because, okay, if they come to you complaining about leg problems or upper back problems, the reason for that is that they use these muscles too much. Can you imagine? We breathe approximately 22,000 times a day. So if you're repeatedly working these muscles all day long, it's like you were doing bicep curls all day long. Of course you're going to be sore, right? And you're going to overdevelop these muscles, and you're going to have bad posture. Okay? So let's see, Patrick here. I'm going to put one hand up, one hand on the belly button. Actually, change your hands right here. This hand on the down. This hand down.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there you go. And then let's check his breath. There you go. As you can see, we have a totally different picture than Mark was doing. His upper hand goes up first, and then there's not much movement on the abdominal cavity, like that. So what do I need to do to help Patrick to breathe better? Okay? First of all, I'm going to have him aware of this, and I'm going to do another test. I'm going to put my hands on the lower ribs right here, and I'm going to cue him. I already know that he's not breathing deeply enough, so I'm going to cue him. I'm going to put my hands right here on where the diaphragm is, and I'm going to cue him to push my hands out when he inhales and try to bring his breathing all the way to the belly. That's how I cue my class, because if you get really technical on the terms, then they don't understand what they're doing. So I'm going to ask him, first of all, to breathe through his nose and breathe his breathing all the way down to the stomach. And I'm going to give you some feedback right here with my hands. And he's going to push my hands out. There you go. One time. And actually, it doesn't need to be really deep. In terms of big breathing, it actually, we want to have a deep meaning that it goes all the way down to the belly. There you go. One more time. Push my hands to the side. Good. Now, you're going to continue doing this, but also this time, you're going to also push my hands out. For a second, don't care about your belly and allow yourself to be a little fat. Okay, just let your belly go up. Ready? Much better. I can see more movement on the belly and less movement up here, right? That means that Patrick is using more of the diaphragm activating. Sometimes people have that problem because the diaphragm is really weak. And why is it weak? Because they're always working only the muscle on the top of the body. They're not training the diaphragm. Remember, diaphragm is a muscle. Like any other muscle, you need to train it. Okay? One more time. And let's see the test again. Let's see how we have improvement right here. So, this hand down so the camera can see. Much better. Much better. Excellent. Thank you very much. Good job. Now, why do we want to do this? Okay, what happens when you have upper breathing? The tendency is to hyperventilate. You have too much oxygen. And you may think, isn't that good? Well, guess what? No, it's not. Because what we really care, and the brain really cares, is to have a balance between oxygen and CO2. Hyperventilation, as I mentioned before, can create many problems, muscular, bad posture, and in general, you know, your hormones and your brain doesn't function very well. We need to teach our clients how to breathe correctly. Thank you very much. That was so funny though.